Thank you for preparing the stage, Louise. Being a city girl myself, I had to learn a lot from Louise to identify tracks and see the difference. Yeah, I know it's rather difficult in the late afternoon after 2 long days of a long conference, so try to get a bit out of you. Who's coming from a landscape site? Who's ever been connected to nature before? Very good, way more than me. I always felt it's somewhere out there, nothing that really concerns me. Who of you has nature as a screensaver on the computer? Ah, nice. Who has a car? Ah, I see. Half. Now I wonder what the rest has. Probably family pictures. Yeah, we have nature on the screen. We tend to see it somewhere out there, and it seems to be something nostalgic, nice, something we go out to. And we have forgotten that it's part of everything we do, of every prosperity we have. Basically, it has become, it doesn't progress? Is there a trick that I need to know? Again? Yes, okay, I'll do that. That nature is not only part of our nostalgia, nature is part of every business we basically do, and it has become the absolute central and biggest business risk. And that's what I'm talking about today, why natural capital and why nature should be on top of your mind if you're a CFO, if you're a CEO, or in any kind responsible for rock-solid business continuation. And Marco told me I should add numbers. Please add numbers to your presentation. So I would like you to retain exactly 3 numbers. It's not millions, 1 digit. It's 3%. If you look at all the vertebrates on Earth, it's 3% that's still wild. 34% are we as humans. 64% is the livestock we feed on. It's the animals we have in our stables and our meadows. 3% is the wild. That's nature. 4 seconds. Every 4th second, we're losing a soccer field of fertile earth, of soil. The FAO says we have another maybe 50 harvests to go on average. That's high food risk, and we're noticing it by now. I don't know if you've noticed that your orange juice has increased in price. The forwards in the orange juice stock exchanges, the commodity exchanges, have tripled in the last 2 years. Same is true for olives, melons. Everywhere we notice that we have by now a supply reduction, and we have supply inflation. 4 meters. Well, I've been attacked for that number because it doesn't connect to the IPCC. But if you talk to different scientists, the rise of the sea level that we will see by the end of this century differs between 3 meters and 8 meters, so 5 is quite in the middle. This will change our world massively. This will change your business activities massively. So we need thriving ecosystems as critical infrastructure for our businesses, all of our businesses. It's easy to understand for those with land use within their value chain. It's also true for those beyond. So nature-exposed companies must take care of nature to mitigate this business risk, increase supply chain resilience, if we talk about in supply chain, adapt to climate change if it's just surrounding you. One of our clients, our first customers, is a construction company who's never looked beyond the site that they're building on until they understood that the surface temperature of their site, which will influence heavily the expenditures for air conditioning, are influenced by the surrounding polygons, the surrounding areas. The value of the neighboring forest has increased massively if you consider that we are currently riding into a 1.8 degrees scenario. We need to comply with ESG regulations, small and medium businesses alike. Big corporates have been asked by their banks if they can provide the relevant ESG data, otherwise they might not be creditworthy anymore. And of course, it's a matter of building brand and a nature premium, particularly in the talent space. If you want to attract good talent, you better have a good story to tell about your nature footprint. Not what you destroy, I'm coming into the same room through a different door, but what you contribute. What is your contribution? So we say, actually, as any business, you need to invest in nature equity. So what's nature equity? That's actually turning payment into nature from a cost, from your CSR budget, or a philanthropic budget, or for the cost of your soft commodities, anything you're sourcing from land use, into an asset that you can display on your balance sheet. And this is the approach we took. We were very clear about this vision that nature is the most critical infrastructure we have. And as we invest in our infrastructure for digitization, for transportation, we need to take nature serious as the infrastructure. Anything, any prosperity we are referring to is building on. And we need to keep it, we need to improve it, and maintain it as we do with anything else. So we talked to chartered accountants. What do we need to do to get this change of mind and this change of practice, how to invest in nature, how to pay for nature conservation and preservation in a global scale? And we got to a point that there is this wonderful regulation or accounting standards, IAS 38, which says an intangible good is something that is identifiable, controllable, and has economic value. And we build a tech stack that provides exactly those three aspects. It measures and identifies the biophysical value of a piece of land, which is carbon stored in ground, carbon stored in woody biomass, water holding capacity, biodiversity, along very different parameters and vectors. Once it's stored, it's measured, it's documented in a natural capital account. It's like an account you know from your monetary affairs. And there's a balance every year how it has improved or deteriorated. And if there is an improvement equivalent or a conservation equivalent, we package it in a performance contract. This contract isolates the performance from the hectare. So you don't buy the hectare is left to the person who knows best how to treat it, the indigenous group, the farmer, the forest owner, the person who has the means and the knowledge to take best care of the natural capital. And you as an investor, you buy the performance as it has been measured and securitized. And then you can take this contract and either hold it, have it accrue in value, or sell it. And that's what we do with our solution lender, where you can simply onboard a piece of land, or as an investor, onboard to look for opportunities to spend your money to build a new form of wealth, which is nature equity. Thank you.